Right, good afternoon everybody. You've got copies of these slides in your packs anyway, but as we go through, if there's any questions, please don't hesitate to stick your hand up. I'm going to rush through quite a significant presentation that typically I would do over around 3 hours, so you can see you've got a lot of value in this, but everything is really important, so I'm just going to go through some stats. It's the world's largest professional network with over 100 million members, and it's growing rapidly. Don't forget it's worldwide. 64% of the members outside the USA. The USA don't always remember that. So the UK age limit is now 13. Is that good, is that bad? Depends what industry you're in. I don't think it's particularly relevant for a discussion in your industry, but some of the industries I'm in it is. It is more than an online business card holder. One of the fantastic things I found since I've been on it, which is since 2006, I now track people in my network that move jobs, otherwise I wouldn't know where they'd gone. Typically somebody leaves, you ask the receptionist or their colleague where have they gone, they're all muted, not allowed to tell you, so they move on and you don't know where they go. Now this to me is phenomenally important because it is your contacts which is where you gain more work and you keep those contacts going, so it's incredibly important. So track like never before, so an opportunity as well to stay front of mind. Is anybody here actually on LinkedIn? Okay, LinkedIn. Anybody use it monthly, weekly, daily? Okay, it has some great elements to it. So develop relationships, that's the concept. Don't sell. It is helping and supporting. Selling is a secondary thing. It's like any networking event. Even if you come to a networking event here, don't come to sell. As a professional networker, so one thing I would tell everybody, first of all, you help somebody. Because if you help somebody, that's where you stay front of mind. You start selling to somebody and they switch off. Okay. So, have a strategy, personally and professionally, both individually and for your business if you have a business LinkedIn page. I do absolutely suggest that you do have one for your professional, for your business, but have a strategy. A lot of people say to me, I get a lot of people send me LinkedIn requests, but I don't know who they are. Well, then I do research on those people. I find out about them and I think to myself, can I help them? Can they help me? Is there a strategic alliance in here? And if there isn't, then I won't link in with them because there are people out there just trawling for contacts to say, I've got millions of contacts. Well, have a very clear strategy in the same way that in your business you should have a very clear strategy about what you're doing as a business. 43% of US members have found a customer through LinkedIn. Anybody here found a customer through LinkedIn? Yeah, it is the same sort of thing, same strategy. So the organisation finds members. Now for me, I would suggest in the first 6 months or the first 6 months of this year, I've gained 25 customers as a result of being on LinkedIn. That's powerful. That is really powerful. And I'm noted because I'm active on LinkedIn. More CEOs on this particular social media platform than any other. A lot of them will be up as Twitter, but it won't be them managing their Twitter account. It'll be their communications department. Whereas with LinkedIn, because it is so personal, it is you as an individual, is the CEO that truly is on this platform. LinkedIn tracks what people are using it for. So recruitment is a really big thing. A lot of people talk to me about recruitment. I don't use it. I don't personally use it for recruitment because I don't recruit people. I have associates, but I do use it to find other associates, but rather than actual physical recruiting. That could be deemed as a concept of recruiting. But what I do is I recommend to my clients that they use it for recruitment. I'll repost up stuff that if somebody's put up that they're looking for an engineer or whatever, I'll repost it. And it's really finding people that have got the level of contacts that I have, really like to be able to utilise my platform because obviously then it gets that to a much wider audience. LinkedIn follows your activities with smart technology in the same way that most databases do. And it also sees what you're trying to achieve. And it does some really fantastic things. Like, for instance, it's recently bought a thing called Pulse. And Pulse is a news, is a collection of news items, etc. And what it will do is it will post that up for you in alignment to the sort of posts that you that you like or you follow or you quote on. So therefore, it is a very intelligent tool, and it's getting more and more intelligent. It's adding new elements all the time. It recently added the educational side of things, the university side of things, which is great for this particular organisation. But then they're looking all the time, hence why they've dropped the age, by the way, to 13, because they realise they get people on it at 13, then they start within their sports arenas, making the contacts. My son actually plays rugby at quite a high level in the UK. For him, he's been on LinkedIn since he was 13. So from his point of view, it was really important because he wants to track all his contacts. You know, he's in contact with a lot of the guys that are in the under-21s England rugby team. But that's really important for him. He wants to keep track of them where he wants to go. He doesn't know what he wants to do. He's just sitting his A2s today. So from his point of view, when he goes off to university, he wants to know who they are. Because if you say he wants to be a journalist, you know, it's important to know England players. That's the sort of thing that I've taught him. Manage your time effectively. It really can be a time sucker. Genuinely can be a time sucker. I'm sorry if I'm shouting. I'm used to speaking without a mic, so if I'm so I do apologise. I get quite emotional about it, as you can tell. I'm really passionate about LinkedIn. So manage your time effectively. Really can be a time sucker. There are tools out there, tools like Hootsuite. Some of them I'll come on to that help you manage your time effectively. And it's content that gets you noticed. Content. And I'll talk a little bit about that. It's a networking platform. There's a lot of you in this room that are from other continents, other areas of the world, but it enables you to network 24/7. And actually, what could that mean to you? Okay, get the basics right. If you don't have a photograph, get one. If you don't have a photograph, that says you're a closed networker. You're not an open networker. And there are people, which I won't bore you with at the moment, but I'm qualified in NLP, and we talk about people who are visual. If you don't put a picture up, then you're going to cut off people who aren't visual because they're not sure it's you. Because if you've got a name like Jack Jones, can you imagine how many people out there are called Jack Jones? So you've got to visualise that picture. So it says you are an open networker. The other thing is if you are on more than one platform, so if you are on Twitter, and if you are on Facebook, and you are on LinkedIn, please make sure the picture's the same. Really important. Okay, so getting the basics right, your personal profile. Who are you? What do you do? Tell people what you like, what you don't like, what you're passionate about. Tell people your interests. It's really important because then people can connect with you over an interest. So, you know, if you like soccer and you watched Soccer Aid last night on the TV, for those of you that were here and watched it, then you can actually sort of post something up about that. But also make sure that you quantify what it is that you do personally and professionally so that people do understand where it is that you fit. Also, check that you are visible to search engines. So you'll have a copy of this, so it'll show you when you get back. Go to edit your public profile in your LinkedIn account settings and check that you are visible to search engines. It will talk you through it. It's not a difficult process to do. Otherwise, you're cutting out a lot of people being able to find you if they Google you. Anybody Googled themselves ever? Yeah? My children laugh because there's so many pictures up of me. They think it highly amusing. But Google yourself. Anybody have a Google alert for themselves? So if you were ever written about in the media anywhere, you'd pick it up. Don't. Make sure you do. Absolutely now, make sure that you have a Google alert on your name. Again, go into Google, set up an account, go to Google Alerts, set it up. Set it up for your competitors. Ever interested in what people write about your competitors? Because I am. Do it. It's a bit offline, but you can see how my brain works, where I go, and all this stuff that I do automatically. So make sure that people know who you are, what you do. Make sure this information here summarises really succinctly who you are and what you do. And then you can go on to talk a lot more about all the other stuff, where you are, what you like to do. Make sure that you use keyword search items in your profile in the same way that you do for your company website. It's absolutely key. If someone's looking for somebody who's a marine surveyor, who's a specialist in catalytic oils, I've probably not got that right. So anything like that, make sure it is in your profile because that is what will come up when people are searching for you. So be really clear about what you do. So they're the terms that people find you on. Skills and expertise. Now, a lot of people get these in there as well, because these are what you're endorsed for. Again, these are really important, because the more you're endorsed, the more LinkedIn like you, the more you are going to come at the high end of their list if they're looking for somebody. Say, for instance, for me, you know, on this particular, I think I've got something like about 189 people that have endorsed me for marketing strategy now. So the more numbers I get, the more likelihood. And also endorse other people that you know are really good. So whoever's head's gone down. It doesn't matter. I thought it was a great tune, actually. It doesn't matter, honestly. There's more important things to worry. It's if the fire alarm went off, I'd be more worried. Also, look at recommendations. Recommendations are really important here. So recommendations are not that easy to find anymore. They used to be. You used to have a tab at the top. But again, if you go into your settings, and on your settings, it's actually on your home page, it's the one with a little picture of you, provided you've put a picture in, of course. It's a picture of you in the top right-hand corner. Click on that and up will come all your settings. You'll go into there and ask for recommendations. Recommendations, to me, are the lifeblood of what I do. Somebody cannot recommend me unless they have a personal profile on LinkedIn. So they're a bona fide person. So therefore, I can go in and I can have a look. Say I'm looking for a new associate that is a specialist in whatever. I will go onto their LinkedIn profile and I will have a look. And one of the things I will do is actually have a look at their recommendations. I'll have a look to see if anybody recommended them that I know. I could then contact them, say, hey, what was it like to work with Mike Schwartz? What was he like? Was he a good guy? Did he deliver? Did he say, you know, did he do what you asked him to do? That is absolutely key. And also ask for recommendations. It is so important because we forget to do it. When I've worked with a client and I've got really good results, that's the time when I send them a request and say, could you please do a recommendation for me? Much more powerful than having them on a website, because anyone could have written them on a website. On my company website, I could have made them up. You can't on LinkedIn. Okay. Interests, I already mentioned interests, that's really important, but please put them up there. So, because what can happen is when someone looks down and say you want to make an introduction to somebody, then you might want to link into something they're interested in. Yeah? So if you like laughing, you'll be good with me. Yeah? If you like to have fun in your life, then that's the sort of thing. Oh, look, you can all see my birthday. Look. August the 19th, don't forget. It's not far away. Yeah, yeah. And don't do chocolate, because I'm dairy intolerant. Everybody tells me chocolate. So, jobs and timeline add weight, and also give detail and supportive information into your background and what you've done. Make sure that this is up to date. If you are in the industry you're in, then make sure that every job that is associated with that is up on there. Work through, do it chronologically, and then just add them as time goes by. Just start on LinkedIn. Don't get wrapped up on putting too much in. Everybody has to start somewhere. I'm not expecting your full CV to put up from day one, but put out what you're currently doing and then add and add and add. And LinkedIn are pretty good at reminding you to go and add in more information. So it's in their interest to do so. Skills and expertise, it's what you're endorsed for. Get these added to make sure that none are excluded. Some people can actually add them if they feel that actually you've done something in the past that's not included on your profile. They can add them if they wish to, but you always have to accept them. If someone's endorsed you, you have to accept it. Groups. Okay, groups are a great source of finding and sharing information. They are also an incredibly great source of finding contacts as well. But I will go through that in a bit more detail. Okay. This is really important. This is a very important part of what I do on a daily basis, hence why I go in on a daily basis. This information here will be on the right-hand side of your home page. Okay, so on your home page, you'll have lots of feeds of the information that people have posted up that you're connected with. But here it says that 5 people have viewed my My profile, well, I want to see who they are. I want to see people that are interested in me for a number of reasons. One, they might want to buy from me, fantastic. Two, they might have something that I can actually dovetail as a business and offer to my clients in a more wide-ranging way. So I'll go in, I'll click on that link, take me through to who's looked at my profile, and on there I can instantly see people that I am already connected to, so they're just reassessing what I'm doing. Other people who are brand new, you have a 5-day window to connect with them without having known their email address. And that is what is really important, 5 days. So if you don't go in on a regular basis, how many people are you missing the opportunity to connect with who could be very valuable to you? So that's typically now what it would look like. And this symbol down here says, I'm already connected with this suspect character. He's lovely, John. Over here, it says, I'm not connected with those people. So they're the ones that I'm looking for. So I would then send them, I'd check them out, look on their profile, see who they are, see if they're the sort of caliber of person that I'm interested in connecting with. Then I get the opportunity to send them a message. Please don't just click on the message that comes up. Please personalize the message in some way. So the general message comes up saying, hi, I'd like to add you to my professional network. I change it. I'll say, oh, hi Gareth, noted you looked at my profile. Is there something I can help you with? I'd like to add you to my professional network. Yeah? Every time you have an option to personalize a message on LinkedIn, do so. If not, you're lazy, and it tells me you're lazy. Okay? And that networking isn't about being lazy. Networking is about giving. Creating your contacts. Find people you know via, there is a search facility in LinkedIn which looks through all of your Outlook contacts for you, etc. And that's why very often those of you who have received a message asking you if you'll link in with somebody, it's because you've been picked up through their Outlook. So you might not have LinkedIn currently, but that's where it's picked you up from. Okay, so then LinkedIn will do all that normally for you. Other ways to do it is have a look through the proactive list that pops up on LinkedIn, because you'll actually get, do you know these people? And there'll be loads and loads, it'll go on forever, depending on how many contacts you've got. But what it's doing is it's trawling through all your contacts, okay? Use the search button at the top right-hand corner which says Add Connections. Now, to me, this is more valuable than anything else that is on LinkedIn. And at some stage, oh, by the way, big question I get asked all the time, should I pay? No, I don't pay. And everybody I've spoken to that pays, I've asked them, what's the benefit of you being, so if you're on there on a regular basis, you don't need to, I don't believe, to be paying. This is they will change this into the paying model at some stage, I know they will. This button is absolutely crucial if you are looking for opportunities to build your profile, build your network, etc. Click on to Add Connections. If you also go in and it says Advanced Search on the side, on the right-hand side of the bar, if you click on Advanced, all of a sudden that opens up a whole world of contacts for you in the same way as if you went to a list company and purchased a list. You can put all sorts of information in there and search for people worldwide, from a specific company, from a specific region, with a specific job title. I was with a client a couple of weeks ago, teaching them how to do LinkedIn, and we went on and I said, okay, who do we want to deal with? And he said, training managers. Okay, put training managers in, under mine, to be fair, and of which I've obviously got a lot of contacts. Anyway, 34,000 people came up. Now, how exciting is that? Okay, he's not going to go for 34,000, but that's fine. We know there's 34,000 available, so we just bring it down and go, okay, let's look within a 20-mile radius of where he lives, or a 50-mile radius of where he lives. Yeah? Gives you those options. View contacts of your own contacts. Now, you can't see my contacts because I've changed it in my settings. And I've done that deliberately. Whether or not you choose to do that's entirely up to you. And the reason I've done that is to protect my clients, because my clients are a very valuable source of information to my competitors. Yeah? And some of the people that I am actually linked in with. And I know that's why some people are actually asked to link in with me, because I'm known for my contacts. but nobody can see it. In my settings, I've changed the settings so it's only me that can see my contacts. So if you value your contacts, I would recommend you do that. Have a clear strategy. Are you an open networker or a closed networker? Some people only just want to literally connect with the people that they know, that they specifically know, and that's absolutely fine, because that enables you to track when people have changed a job, where they've gone, whatever, and that's absolutely fine. Adding a LinkedIn icon to your email footer, so that don't ask me how to do it. I'm not an IT person, but get an IT person to do that for you. I'm told it's straightforward, but I've never done it. So, but do that, because then what happens is if you send an email to someone, they're on LinkedIn, they say, yeah, I'd like to link it. It's a nice icon, really easy to do. Introductions. You can ask for introductions via somebody. So, for instance, I could send a message to Mike saying, I wondered if you could introduce me to some of your members that might be interested in some sort of like further LinkedIn training or marketing or whatever, or I noticed that you're linked in with this person, I'd really like to contact them, is that okay? And people are much more comfortable if it's via somebody that they know, some mutual contact. So again, use that, very valuable. Groups. Groups are a great way to find connections. And if you are on a group, the really important thing is be active. So look for groups. Now, it makes sense for you guys to link into groups that you are going to get relevant information from. So obviously, as a group, I'm expecting you to have a group. Thank you. So everybody must join the group for the organisation, so that then you can all connect to one another quite easily through the group, and also post information that's relevant. And if you are in a group with somebody else, it's easier to link in with them, because you don't have to have their email address again. You just have to say, yes, we're in the same group together. And LinkedIn knows you're in the same group together because it's database driven. So that enables you to do it that way. Thank you. Right, so I'm going to whiz through this. Right, creating contacts. Remember I said to you about the advanced searching. This is where it is. Right, okay, sorry. Here we go. Need to go back. Right, I said to you about up here, going up to this advanced search here. Right, this is how you search. You can search keywords. So if you know certain clients have certain, like industrial director or whatever it is, or marine director, if you know his first name, his last name, this enables you to really locate it in or near. What country are they in? Do you know their postcode? But literally, if you just put that in there, it would come up with your first, second, and group members that fall into that category. And it tells you up here how many results there are that you're looking for. Okay, you can click these off. So if you only want first connections or second connections, use loads of permutations, play with it, have fun, it's great. I love it. To me, never buy a list again. Why would I? Golden rules. Don't use the default messages, please. Personalize them. Even if you just say, hi Jack, dear Bert, whatever, okay? Personalize them. Update your status regularly. Why? Because then you come up on the news feed. Even if you change your picture, you'll come up on the news feed. You can actually switch it off, but for the moment we haven't got the time to go through that. But you can do that. Invite new contacts regularly. Really work hard at it, build it. Review your homepage for news or what is networking. Comment what people have posted up. Read an article. If you also repost so if you obviously, in terms of your professional scenario whereby you might read a professional publication that's online, very often you'll get a LinkedIn share. Don't just share it, share why, write a discussion. Why are you sharing it? Because that's otherwise, to me, I'm sorry, but it's lazy. Tell people why you're sharing it. Do you agree with it? Do you not agree with it? Is there a specific point in there? Is there something that you think is tangible? Write something. Otherwise, you're just reposting. And again, people see that and see it as lazy. Follow relevant companies. That is a really great help. That enables you to see what other people are posting. Follow your competitors, see what they're writing about. Invest your time, but be careful about your time because it's a real sucker. Be clear about how social media fits within your overall business strategy. When you are posting on LinkedIn, you can also post to Twitter at the same time. But obviously remembering that Twitter has only 140 characters. So if you get carried away on what you're writing on LinkedIn, it won't show it all on Twitter, and it will just stop halfway through. So just remember that. And if any of you do repost anything on the web, please make sure you do a shortened version of the URL, the website address, which means you go into something called bit.ly, bit.ly.com, and it will shorten the address, so therefore use less characters for you, which helps on Twitter. But that's another seminar, which we're not doing today. Create an attractive company profile using all the facilities. Get involved in active and relevant groups. If you're in a group, be in the group, because otherwise what's the point? Yeah? Read what other people have written up. Add a discussion point. Add something. Use the advanced search button to find contacts, which I've just taken you through on screen. Post into Twitter at the same time, already mentioned. Grouping your contacts, which you can do in your contacts. It says tag. So if you say, for instance, want to send a message, you want to, so for instance, a client of mine sells medals, and they sell medals for every type of race that you could do. So what they do is they go in, all of their salespeople, and they'll tag if they're in the charity sector, or if they're in the fun run sector or whatever, so then they can send them special offers that are relevant only to them. So think about tagging. Produce a compelling company page. Groups, make the most of them. Which ones to join, how to engage, finding contacts, start a group yourself. It's actually really easy. Content is king. In my world of marketing, this is such big stuff. Everybody is talking about it internationally. Content online is absolutely what will stand you head and shoulders above everybody else. One of the best organisations at doing all this, which have got the sales have helped them go through the roof, is Innocence. The Innocence brand, which is the drink. Phenomenal how they do it. Okay, so really, I think we've covered introduction to LinkedIn. I've gone through it incredibly fast. I do speak fast. I hope for those of you who English is not necessarily your first language, I do apologise. But hopefully it's given you a flavour and a feel. You've got the copy of the presentation in your packs. Go back and obviously review that as and when you're on LinkedIn. Any questions?
Sorry to hog the question. I am a dinosaur.
What do we call you? T-Rex.
I'm a social media cynic. I'll tell you why. I am in LinkedIn, but I don't trust them. PayPal showed very clearly why you shouldn't trust it. I do not trust electronic systems. Who owns LinkedIn and what is their security?
Well, you know what? I'm going to be really bold and say I'm not here to defend anybody online, because I can't. I'm not employed by LinkedIn. At the end of the day, my view is absolutely, PayPal, all the rest of it, we have to use them, because if we don't, we're going to be a dinosaur and we are going to die.
I'm proud of being a dinosaur.
Yeah, and that's absolutely fine. Well, all I would say to you is be proud and continue to be. I'm not here to convert anybody. All I'm here to do is give you the virtues of doing so. I've been with LinkedIn since 2006. There has been no violation on data. That isn't to say there won't be, but hey, I'm not in charge of their servers. All I make sure is that I don't put up too much information that then will, if I'm truthful, I don't have a PayPal account. And that's my choice, because I am pretty savvy. And make sure you do your homework. But yeah, so really, your choice. Yeah. Yeah, and you're a great dinosaur. Any other questions? Yes.
As a fellow mini dinosaur, how do I remove myself from LinkedIn?
That's a really good question, and do you know what? I've never had anybody ask me that question, so it's a really interesting question. I love that. So, you can take your page down. Yes, you can. Is this a company page or a personal page? Personal page. It's easier to do. Company page is a nightmare. Yeah, there is. There will be a wizard through that will take you through it. Absolutely. If you go into the top search button that you saw and you said, delete myself from, or even Google it, and there'll be people there that will tell you how to do it. Yeah, Google's a fantastic tool. Yeah. There'll be someone there that will tell you how to do it. Anybody else? Question? What time's lunch? That's what you want to know, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. I think you can go and have lunch now. Thank you.